Okay, great. All right, this is recording, share screen. Okay, just a couple of things I think will be very helpful for you in when you're constructing your maps. I mean, I've given you a really big project, okay? And like map making is a very complex field. So, if you feel a little lost, I apologize. I think it's a good exercise to just jump in there and learn how to organize your layers, um, work with strokes and fills and all of that stuff. There's a few things I think I have not gone, maybe I have. Stop me if I've done this already. Going to let's start a new file. One thing I don't think have I gone over like doing dashed and dotted lines and arrowheads? I don't think I did. Did I? I did. He says I did. What do the rest of you think? I did go over that. Okay. All right. Sorry. All right, then we will skip that part, but I mean, if you're curious about it, just raise your hand. I'll come over and we will go over it. We did a little bit with text, but we only did, so if you go to the text tool over here and you click on it and you hold down, there's a lot of different options. I'm going to pull this palette out, okay, to the side here. So a lot of different options for text. And one of them that for your maps you might be wanting to use is um um text on, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, text on a curve. So I'm going to make a curve right here, like so. I'm going to hit escape to get out of that tool, V to go to the direct selection tool. So I've got this curve right here. So normally with the text tool, if you just click, you get some dummy text, right? And if I click on that, there's one point right here. This is point-based text. I just clicked and it's drawing a line of text and it will go on to the right side for infinity, unless I tell it to go to the left side for infinity or the center or whatever, but it's just based on one point. We can also put text on a curve, can add it to a shape. So, I'm gonna make this a little bit more complicated. Let's say that this line right here, maybe it's a little too curvy, I'll bring it down, is a road on a map. Okay. Let's say right now it has a fill of white. I'm going to, in these swatches over on the side here, I'm going to click the one with the slash through it. So I don't want any fill. Okay. I'm going to click on the black square, the stroke swash to bring that to the front. And I'm going to say something like, go to my color swatches. I'm going to make it like a blue. And then I'm going to go to the swashes palette and make it kind of thick. So this is going to be like a maybe thicker than like a highway or a major roadway. I don't know. something like that. Okay. You can put text on a curve. The thing is, though, that if I grab the text tool and I come over here and I roll over this, something happens. All of a sudden, when I get to the center, the path lights up. It's offering me the chance to insert text onto that path. Problem is that if I just click on that path, I'm going to lose all my graphic styles. Okay, I'm going to lose the color and the width, and it's just going to be just a text path. Okay, kind of not what we want. But what we can do, a good alternative to that is to click on that, select that path, copy it, and then we're going to do what's called paste in front. If I just hit paste, like Command V, it would be offset to the side, and that's not good for me right now. I want to paste it exactly in the same place where I just copied it. And the shortcut for that, well, should probably teach you the menu option, but I don't know. I do everything by shortcuts. I'm sorry. Uh, Object. I have a doctor's appointment for Friday for my cough, so is it paste? Oh, it's right there. Yeah. Command F, paste in front. Okay, so you don't see anything happen because an exact replica of what you just copied went on top of the thing that you just copied. So if I drag this away, I could see that I have 2 copies of that right now. Okay, that's good. Okay, so now I'm gonna go grab my text tool and and then once that path highlights, I'm gonna click on it and I'm going to type. You're going to get some dummy copy. If you don't like the dummy copy that comes up all the time, Illustrator didn't used to do that. It used to just give you a cursor and you typed. It was like very cool. And now they put this junk in there. You can go into your settings and you can turn that off if you're curious. So I just typed on it. I just typed Route 66. And I'm gonna make that white, cancel, so we can see it better. Okay. So I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. So as you can see, okay, a few things have emerged. I've got the path. I've got this square point here. And then on the end, there's supposed to be another one. I don't know where that is. And then you've got this middle, this up and down, this vertical line. The square point means you can, basically you can grab this. Am I not in the right? Okay, wait, hold on. Get the direct selection tool. I can move this text. What? Why? Whoa, 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 whoa. What's going on here? Hold on. I should be able to make edits here. Um, how come I can't do that? You see what I'm seeing here though, right? There's a dot here, and then there's a line right there. And you can use those to move the text along the path if it's not in exactly the location that you want. I am struggling to do that for some reason. Why can't I just click on, there we go. Yeah, I just clicked on the line and now I can move it and I can move, well, that's the line for the path. I don't want to move that. But I can also take it and flip it. You can flip it upside down. Do I have to hold down a key for that? No, that was not what I wanted to do. We can move it along the path. You can also flip it so that it is upside down if you need it. I'll look into that. I did it earlier today and I'm blanking on it right now. And this is all good and everything, but I kind of don't want it to be all stuck up to the top of the line. So if I go into where if I type crap, let me reset my workspace. I'm choosing the type. You can have it right now, it's on the baseline. So the line that I clicked on that it's orientating itself to is the baseline. You can have that as, you can switch it so that the text reaches the top of that baseline at the top of the characters, or you can have it centered. And it was here before. No, that's not it. That's not it. Let me open up the type window. Type character styles. No, that's not it. Okay, give me crashing and burning tonight, people. Okay, we'll get through this. Transform, is it transform? No, really? Range, outlines, font, no. No, 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 no. How did I do this? I just did this. I just did this. You know the feeling, right? Like, what little stupid little side menu with that on and
Me when I accidentally do something. Now, how do I repeat?
how did I do that and how do I do it again? Okay, there. Paragraph, no, that's not gonna be it. Let me go back to type in a curve. I'm gonna double click that. Here we go. Here we go. I double clicked. If you open the pull out the palette for all the type options, type on a curve is the third one over. If you double click on that, there's an option here, align to path. Right now it's at baseline. I'm going to change that to center. I'll click preview. And now that is nice. Okay. That is what you want in a map label right there. Right there. Perfectly centered. I mean, I could put it towards the bottom. I don't know. There might be use cases where you would want one or the other, but perfectly centered right there. So that is type on a path. Okay. Okay, I just have one other thing I wanted to show you. This one's a little more advanced, but I wanted to give you options on like how you're gonna handle like the edges of your map. You know, does the world just end? Does it fall off a cliff? Do you just frame it and call it a day? Do you fade it out? What do you do? And we haven't gone over transparency. So I put a file in Canvas. Um, let me, it was called, what did I call that file? It's in there somewhere. Opacity masks. Okay, we talked a little bit about masking things last week. So remember, I had some sort of illustration with a bunch of shapes, and I put a shape, one shape, on top of it. And then I turned that shape into a mask, and it was like a cookie cutter, and it just cut away everything outside of its edges. Okay, that's a clipping mask. That's a clipping mask. We're gonna get into more complicated masks in Photoshop, but I'm gonna give you a little bit of a preview right now. This is, this didn't used to be, you used to not be able to do this in Illustrator, but they've incorporated it, and I think it's pretty cool. Opacity mask here. Okay. So we've got this image of a ghost. I did not design this. Like I said, I steal all my stuff from other people. So we have this ghost. Okay. What if we wanted the ghost to like slowly dissolve from the bottom upward? Not be just like a plank, there's your ghost. Masks, I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit, are a way of revealing certain parts of an image and concealing other parts of an image. So when we did a clipping mask, right, we made a very distinct shape, and it was very obvious. This is shown, this is not shown. Okay. There's more nuanced ways of doing that. Having fade ins and fade outs and things like that. So transparency is pretty easy to understand. I don't think I need to do a whole module on transparency. It's like you make something, you click the transparency button, you choose a percentage, and there you go. Okay, you can kind of see through it, you kind of can't. You guys can figure that out. I don't think I need to spend a lot of time on that. But an opacity mask is a little bit different. Opacity, transparency, two sides of the same coin, doesn't matter. So I'm gonna make a rectangle over this image here. And I want to apply an opacity mask. So the rule of the rules for masks, and this you'll get really used to this when we get into Photoshop. Black conceals, white reveals. Okay, and any gray area in between is a mixture of them both. So what I want to do is I want to have like a fade on this ghost guy here. So I'm going to turn this rectangle that I just made is gonna be my mask. So I'm gonna go to my swatches. I'm gonna go down, and here's the black and white mask. I'm gonna choose that. And I want it to be like a that. I'm gonna choose negative 90 degrees so that the bottom part is kind of concealed. Okay. It looks like crap right now, but it's not gonna be that way in a second. Okay, I'm gonna hit V to get my direct selection tool, or I can just click up here. Let me make sure my layers are locked. Yes, background layer is locked. Okay, good. I'm going to click and drag. So now I have both the gradient and the artwork selected. I'm gonna go over here to transparency. It's the icon right below on the right below gradient is transparency. We click transparency. There you go. Right away, I cannot, you can figure this out. This is easy, adjust the transparency however you want. And there's blend modes. There are blend modes. If you've worked in, you may or may not have, don't worry about it. We'll get there. You may have worked in Photoshop before and you know that there are different blend modes where you can combine imagery together and have the pixel information of each image inform the pixel information of the image below it, and they alter each other. And don't worry about that if you've never done that. It is available in Illustrator. They haven't taken it from Photoshop and incorporated into Illustrator. We're not going to get into that now. We'll do that when we get into Illustrator. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to click on Make Mask. And now what you can see is the bottom of the image is starting to fade out. It was, a lot more vivid before. It's starting to fade out. If I click on the whole thing here, see in this palette here, it's got a thumbnail of the image and it's got a thumbnail of the gradient. I can adjust that gradient. So I'm going to click on the gradient. Make sure you click on the are you editing the artwork or are you editing the opacity mask? You need to make sure that you're clicked on the correct thumbnail. I'm clicking on that and I'm going to hit G to get the gradient adjustment tool. And now I can play with this and I can I can invert it if I wanted to. I can change the midpoint. But it's a great way to fade things in out. So like maybe you want to do that on the edges of your map, or you don't have to. There's nothing wrong with just like trimming it off on the corners and that's a map. A map's a map. But that's how opacity masks work. And we're gonna get really good at masking things in Photoshop. It gets a lot more complicated in Photoshop. But this is a good introduction into the whole concept of black conceals, white reveals. So, okay, did I get everything I wanted to go over? Do you guys have any requests? I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I just can't get to. Like, is there anything that you've been dying to do and you can't figure it out? Maybe I could demo it. Maybe I can't. I don't. It's possible. It's a big program. I mean, I did pass the test for Adobe, but I've never taken the test for Photoshop because this is just too intimidating. Photoshop's too huge. Too much going on in Photoshop. Like, I don't know. Photoshop is like I use Photoshop, and then my colleague Nick Chowdy uses Photoshop. He's a photographer. He's using Photoshop in a completely different way than I'm using Photoshop. He knows things about Photoshop I've never touched, and I'm doing things. He's like, you could do that? It's Photoshop is just like that. It's just like such a huge program. Like, yeah, you'll never, if you're not a person that likes to continue learning things throughout your life, graphic design is not for you. Okay? It's not. You're gonna have to continually be teaching yourself things. It's just what it is. And it's a fun part too, because with every little new thing you learn, you get a new idea and you get a new vision and a new design. And okay, I'm gonna shut up now. And we'll say goodbye to our ghost, and we'll say goodbye to Zoom. Thank you for joining me. And